The Las Vegas Aces are your 2022 WNBA champions. I have been saying they were my favorite to win since the beginning. Roll the tape. This Vegas team is going to be so hard to beat in the playoffs this season. Anyway, after defeating the Connecticut Sun in 4 games, I want to dig into why this is the perfect championship season for the Aces. I'm Jordan Ligons, and this is the Buckets 5. First, we have to admire the additions and subtractions that it took to get to this celebratory point. It was a long road for the Aces franchise, who moved from Utah to Texas and had just one finals appearance to show for it, one that they lost. We can't blame it all on head coach Dan Hughes or the players, but it was a decade-long struggle to get over the hump. Things started looking up though. In the 2017 draft, they got Kelsey Plum at number 1. Then in 2018, their first season as the Aces, they grabbed A'ja Wilson with the number 1 pick. The following year, another number 1 pick in Jackie Young. Sometimes it helps being a bad team. Their rebuild took a few years, but after some smart picks in the draft, now they're hoisting the championship trophy on the Las Vegas Strip as the first pro team to win a title in Sin City. I'm sure they'd say it was all worth it. Next on my list, they got a new coach. The Aces had the talent and their franchise player. They just needed to be guided in a new direction. Becky Hammon earned the highest contract in WNBA history in the offseason to hop over from the NBA and be the head coach for the Aces. She's secured the $1 million bag, and it's already paid off. Best investment ever. Hammon was the first coach to win a championship in their first year of coaching, and she picked up Coach of the Year honors along the way while leading the Las Vegas Aces to a league-tying best 26-10 record. We already knew Hammon was a great coach and a barrier breaker. While coaching with the San Antonio Spurs, she was the first woman to coach an NBA Summer League team, and they won a championship too. For her to come back to the league she spent 16 years giving her all to, and then coach her former franchise to their first ever title, what's better than that? Next reason this championship was in the cards for the Aces, they nearly did a clean sweep of awards this season. I already mentioned how Hammon was Coach of the Year, but that's only the start of it. A'ja Wilson earned her second MVP at only 26 years old, and she took home the hardware for Defensive Player of the Year. She couldn't be stopped on either end of the floor. Jackie Young won Most Improved Player because she went from shooting 25% from 3 to almost 45%. For a team that became a serious threat beyond the arc, she was a big part of the reason why. Plus, 4 out of 5 starters were named to the All-Star game this season, and Kelsey Plum took home that tiny trophy. The Aces also won this year's Commissioner's Cup game, and Chelsea Gray took home that MVP award too. I honestly can't think of an award they didn't win. Okay, we've talked about all the accolades, but we gotta shine a quick spotlight just how fun this team was to watch on and off the court. All season long, we heard that the Aces had their stars, but their bench was too short. But in my opinion, players like Sydney Colson, Theresa Plaisance, Asia Shepard, Kirsten Bell, they may not have gotten a lot of tick, but their energy, jokes, and sideline antics are just as important to team morale. Their genuine joy of being around each other was felt by everyone watching, and their viral moments led to new fans of the WNBA. Look, if there was an award for best team to follow on social media, they would have won that too. And last but not least, playoff Chelsea Gray, aka the Point God. If you're new to the Chelsea Gray fan club, first, welcome. We're happy you're here. Finally, Gray was recognized on the biggest stage for the complete dog that she is. Let me read off these stats to you. 22 points per game, 7 assists, 61% from the field, and 54% from 3. She scored or assisted on 44% of the Aces' points this postseason. It was clutch shot after clutch shot. She was unconscious, and she lit social media on fire with those highlights. One of the best parts of watching Chelsea Gray go off like this was seeing her in a system where she thrived, led by a coach that allowed her to be free and run this team. And now she'll be in the record books forever for one of the best postseason performances ever, men or women. After getting snubbed from the All-Star team, Gray was able to earn her second championship ring and the Finals MVP. A perfect way to end a near-perfect season for the Aces. The wildest thing is, I truly believe the Aces are just getting started. Their core five, Wilson, Gray, Plum, Young, and Hamby, are all 30 or younger and under contract for the next season. Don't be surprised if we see them in the finals again real soon. Well, those are my reasons why the Aces were destined to win the championship. Thanks for watching the WNBA coverage on Buckets this season. Make sure you like and subscribe to Buckets on YouTube so you don't miss any content.